And I just took my Lynx off the truck. I brought it home. And this is how I have it set up. I've had it almost a year. I got it right after I came out. And here's my homemade anchor pole mount. I just got a crate on here right now. I did wash the boat off a little bit, even though you can't tell it. At the marsh, I took my rag while it's still in the water and just kind of washed it off about a week or two ago, so it's got a little bit of mess back on it, as you can see. But my 8 trails that I've been waiting on since last August came in. I picked them up yesterday. Today's Sunday. And I don't even know what day it is. Anyway, I'm going to put the 8 trails on. Probably take the crate off. And put my rod mounts on the back here on my 8 trails. And I'm going to try to figure out a way to eliminate all of this. My rods, I just slide them under the seat and put them under these bungees in the front. That works really good. So that's what it looks like now, all dirty. Like I said, I've been using it almost a year. I washed it off about 2 or 3 weeks ago for the first time, so you can imagine what it looked like. You can see what it looks like now. But I fish all the time with it, so I bought it to fish in, not to wash. So I'm gonna take all this stuff off, clean it up, put the 8 trails on it, build my rod holders, mount my depth finder. I never put my depth finder on here. I got the Helix 7, Hummingbird, and I didn't like the idea of it sitting right down on the water, because I've had two of them big old boats come by me already, just real close, throwing great big wakes, and the wake will come over the side of the boat. So that's the reason I had to put my depth finder on. But now that I can get it up pretty high where the wave won't hit it, I'm gonna mount it on there. I brought it home. So that's it till now. I'll show you what it looks like when I get through. Okay, I took everything off my boat. I rolled it upside down for the first time here. Or on its side. Got it propped up on the seat. I fished a salt marsh. Nothing but oyster beds. As you can see, there's a few scrapes through here. Nothing deep, just surface scratches. And I'm in the oyster beds all the time. Going up in the shallows looking for the reds and stuff. Here at the front, got a couple of deep gouges. Nothing's penetrated, and it's been, like I said, almost a year. August will be about a year. And when the weather permits, I fish just about every day. It's about 4 or 5 times a week sometimes, for anywhere from 3 to 5, 6 hours a day, just depending on where the fish are biting. If the fish ain't biting, I'm not gonna stay out there for nothing. And I don't have the patience. But that's just dirt. Needs to be cleaned. But it looks a lot better. I thought it was going to have a lot more gouges in it than what it does. Just surface scratches. That's about the deepest place, and it's not even penetrated. That's pretty good. Some people say they use gator patch. I put gator patch on my twin troller, and it didn't last about 2 months. I heated up. So I'm not going to bother to put it on. This looks pretty good. Well, I turned the boat over and gave it a bath. Still looks pretty good. Kind of a deep scratch, but it's not bad. The only negative things I've seen on it, there's some scratches right here on the center where I have to run it up onto the bank. Right here's rubbed down pretty good. And right here is a little pinhole. Well, I saw some air bubbles coming out of it when I washed it. When I had the soap, it was blowing some bubbles. It's just a little soft spot right there on both of them. I'm not concerned with it since it's a solid core. I'm not really worried about it. I will think of something, I don't know. I may put some gator patch right over this. Or I find out you can't get it hot enough to kind of weld it because it's got that foam on the inside of it, and I'm scared I'll melt that, so I'm not going to do that. I'll find something maybe I can put on here that stick to this plastic. Kind of hard to find something. I have to check around and see what it is. But and the soft spot there, I didn't see it leaking, but this is right on this point. The only places I saw. If it was a hollow boat, I'd be concerned about it leaking, but since it's solid foam, I'm not really worried about it one way or the other. I'll paint some bed liner or something on here just to cover it up. But I'm not really worried about it that much. I'm real pleased at how I got one deep scratch there and one here. And they not all the way through, they just deep scratches. And my Hobie Outback I had, it was eat up worse than this one by the time I got rid of it. So, am I worried? No. When you fish in the salt marsh, oyster beds, every day, just about. This looks pretty damn good, I think. So, the other side, actually, like I say, I gave it a bath for the first time in almost a year. Whoop. There's my strap. I've got to go get some spot remover. If you leave a hook that rusts, that's what happens. Same thing here, because this is under my seat and I'll have my stuff sitting under here. When I get my H-rails on, I'm going to have trays to hold all this stuff. I got some stuff up there in the garage. I'm going to come back down there and see if I can't clean this off. Well, there it goes, coming off a little bit. Yeah, that brush just wouldn't get it off. Okay, looks a lot better. That's it for right now. Now this is an update on my Hobie Lynx. My H-rails finally came in after almost a year waiting on them. So I finally got my Helix mounted on there. I didn't put it on here when it was down here because I didn't want that salt water splashing all over it. It's all I fish in is salt water, so got it up here. So see how that's gonna work. What I did do, I put the transducer on the Hobie transducer down here in the bottom of the hull here. Well, because this is side imaging and everything, it didn't work. Had it all nice and neat, looked so pretty. I was so proud. Took it up to the local lake, because I'm up here in Columbia now, I'm not at the beach. Put it in the water and it didn't work. So I came back and ended up putting the transducer here, PVC pipe. It's got hose clamps holding it on. Took a T, cut it in half so it fit down on there, holding it with the hose clamps. And if I hit something, it just kicks it up out of the way. When I'm traveling, take it off, put it in my basket. Works good. I've done that on 2 other boats I had, doing the same way. And I can handle it from right here in the seat. And I just took it out my neighbor's pond. I hope it's showing up in my garage here under my shed, because I was out in the hot sun. But it works pretty good. The images look great. Something else I did, I took my big crate I had on here off. Just have this one small crate. I have 2 artificial bait boxes over there, one with my hooks, sinkers, and a few hard plugs in it. It goes under the seat, and the bigger one here, it goes back here in the tray. And my battery, I bought a Dakota 12 volt 10 amp lithium battery. They're not cheap, but my other boat is the most important thing on the whole boat. That's my pickup. You know, if you're out on the water, that's a necessity. Well, I put these rod racks on here made out of PVC. Same way, hose clamps moving it so I can loosen it up, move it if I need to, or take it off. And something else I did while I was home here. When I'm traveling, before the wind catch it and you get where you're going, your rudder's turned sideways. So I just took me a little wooden dowel I had in my shop, Drilled it out, stuck it in there now. It can't go anywhere. It just rides right there. Took this little cheap plastic bait deal they at Walmart and Academy and everything. They white, and I just spray painted it black, make it look a little nicer. That's a little old cheap couple of dollar basket from Walmart. Also got it zip tied onto my rod holders. And I moved my rod holder up here on the top. I had it down here. And a big boat come by with the big waves, and it would hit the paddle, knock it out, which I had the strap hooked on here. But I like it better here. Maybe it won't be quite as bad. My rods, I don't have them in here now. I got them leaning up against the thing here. But I just slide them under the seat when I'm traveling, to the side of the basket. Hook them underneath my bungees, and that's how I travel with my rods. Same thing with my anchor pole. I just slide it under there, hook it under here. And when I get to the marsh, I just take them out, put them back on there. On the bottom, you can see I took some PVC electrical conduit pipe, and I heated it up with my heat gun, flattened it out, then heated it up again, and kind of shaped it to the bottom of the boat. Now, there was two places here and right on the other side there where it wore down pretty thin, cutting through it. Some of those oyster beds where I have to dock it all the time. So I put that on there to protect it, so that's going to work pretty good. And I stuck it on there with JB Well plastic bonder. We'll see how that works. And can't be any worse than what it was. So we'll see how that works. That's it so far. I hadn't yet been out in the marsh since I put the H-rails on and got my depth finder and all that on it. So I'm really excited to get back to the marsh. Hope to go back down there maybe Sunday or Monday. And so that's the way it's gonna be. Let me know what you think. That's all.